Okay, so I've got a couple of different categories of people here. Let me know if one of these is you. You are here because you are planning your wedding. I'm going to assume that's probably a lot of you, if not the vast majority of you, but I know that it's not always the case. Perhaps you're here because you're really into weddings and you want to become a wedding planner. Perhaps you've already planned your wedding, but you loved it so much that you want to become a wedding planner, so you just want to soak up as much information as you can. Perhaps you're planning your wedding, you've decided you hate it, you don't want to become a wedding planner. That's absolutely fine. This video is not for you. Hello lovely couples, I'm Lauren, wedding planner, owner of Bluebird Creative and Bride Academy. I bring you weekly tips and tricks for the modern couple to help you plan your wedding as well as digital downloads. So guys, this week's video, I actually wanted to take a slightly different twist and little turn for you and chat about planning a wedding, but not your own wedding. What it takes to be a wedding planner, you know, and if you actually want to be a wedding planner, because I get so many couples that, brides in particular, that will plan their own wedding. They love it so much and they really want to consider a career change into wedding planning. And I'm totally here for it, guys, which is why I run my own workshops to train people to become wedding planners. So let's chat through what that looks like, the skill sets that you need for wedding planning, the experience you need, and all the things. Let's jump into it. Okay guys, so you're considering jumping into the wedding planning industry and becoming a wedding planner. Perhaps you've planned your own wedding. Again, the majority of you probably have, but not all of you. If you've planned your own wedding, you obviously have a little bit of experience, which is amazing. But planning your wedding and planning someone else's wedding is very, very different. Your emotions are massively involved in your own wedding. Your budget perhaps isn't the same as planning somebody else's wedding. There's all the things. You don't quite know what you're doing. You can get away with the process being scrappy. When you're planning someone else's wedding, none of that is the case. You have to know what you're doing. You need swift, smooth processes. You need to make it clear for your clients that you can't get involved in the emotions. You have to plan for them, not for you. There's so many different things. So first of all, let's talk through what a wedding planner is, because we've got wedding planners, we've got wedding coordinators, we've also got venue coordinators, and they don't really come into this bracket, and they're a very different kind of person. I will link a video about the difference between wedding coordinators and venue coordinators up there for you. Wedding planners are essentially people that help clients plan their wedding, typically from start to finish. You might create some services in between that are a little bit more bespoke, but essentially you start right at the beginning of the planning process, either helping your clients to find their venue, or they'll have booked their venue, and then decide that they want a planner to help plan the rest of their wedding. A wedding coordinator is somebody who coordinates the wedding day, typically, or in our case, stepping in 6 weeks before the wedding. Again, this differs from coordinator to coordinator, but essentially roughly around 6 weeks out, and then you will gather all the information but not plan, so that you can manage and coordinate the wedding day itself. Both very important roles, and a lot of planners coordinate as well. And essentially when you're on the day, even if you've planned it, you're coordinating it, if that makes sense. Anyway, so those are the different roles. When you are a planner, when I'm interviewing for my team, for example, I will ask people in the interview, what do you think is the most important skill set as a wedding planner? And they always, without fail, come back to me and say, being organised. I love a spreadsheet, being organised. And yes, that is an important part. It is not the most important skill. Personally, I think the most important skills as a wedding planner are being good under pressure, being able to solve problems. Being a problem solver is so important, because whether it's on the wedding day, you are going to come up against problems, and you need to be able to deal with those problems under pressure quickly, without alerting anybody, without stressing anybody out, and without you flapping and looking stressed. So super, super important. But you will come up against problems throughout the planning process. Suppliers won't fit the budget. Certain things will crop up. Issues will happen. The client won't like some of your suggestions. You need to go back, you need to revisit, and so on. So you need to be willing to solve those problems in a calm manner. So problem solving is really important. Being a people person, in my opinion, is an extremely important skill. It's a very personal service that you're doing for somebody on the most important day of their lives, And there is a lot of pressure on that. You need to be approachable. You need to remember that the wedding is not your wedding. It is not your emotions, and that people's emotions are involved in that day. There are a lot of factors surrounding that, and you need to build that trust, be down to earth, be approachable, or at least that's my opinion. That's how we work. Being organised is obviously important, because you cannot plan a wedding without being organised. I have systems and processes in place to be able to do that. I also have an assistant that is extremely organised and detail orientated to help support me in that process, which is amazing. I think something else really important to point out with planning a wedding is that a lot of people think it's a very glamorous job. And whilst it may come across as that on a wedding day, it is not a glamorous job. It is an extremely hard job. And the amount of venue owners that I have spoken to this year in particular that have said they have had planners come along to their venue, stand around and not really do anything, hurts my heart, and is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about training up new planners and coordinators in the industry to be good, because there just seems this reputation in the industry with venues in particular where they're just not impressed by us. And I don't mean us in particular, but when we arrive into a venue, they're like, oh, great, it's a planner. And a lot of suppliers can think that until, I mean, obviously when we work with them, we don't get that reaction, which is amazing. And I've worked really, really hard to build a brilliant reputation, but it's so frustrating going in and people just assume that we're going to be hard work, or that we're not going to work hard. And I want to make sure that as an industry, people aren't thinking that anymore. So it is hard work. You need to be willing to push yourself throughout the day. They are long days. You are on your feet all day. When we're on a job, I am literally moving things left, right and centre. I'm constantly on the go. We don't stop. We don't really sit down that much. We grab half an hour to eat our dinner when the clients are sat down eating their dinner, but it is full on. There's a lot of manual labour. It's very intense. It's full on. You don't get much time to eat. You don't really get any rest. It's a lot, but it's so worth it and so fulfilling when you see your clients' reactions on the day. I cannot tell you the emotions that brings when it just all comes together, and all that planning process just comes together in one day. It's amazing, but it's not glamorous. It is extremely, extremely hard work. And I'm passionate about bringing in a new, I want to use the word revolution, but I feel like that's potentially not the right word, but a new generation, that's what I want, not revolution, a new generation of planners that are super passionate, hard workers, and that are going to build a reputation in the industry of being people that venues and other suppliers really do want to work with and see the value in. So this is just like my tiny overview of what is involved in being a wedding planner, not the process of planning a wedding, but being a wedding planner. It is hard graft. It can be lonely as well, especially if you set up your business on your own. You are literally working on your own. But there are so many benefits. I feel like I've given a lot of the negatives here, but there are so many benefits. You're working for yourself. You're working on clients' most important days of their life. There's so much love and emotion, and it's just the most incredible feeling. It's such a fantastic industry to be part of. So if you are considering jumping into the wedding industry, then I say go for it. In terms of experience, go out, contact wedding planners, see if you can assist them, see if you can get some experience with them. That is the best way to learn. You do not need degrees, you do not need to go to university. If you want to learn more, go get yourself on a workshop or a course where you can take as much information as possible. I've got a wedding planners workflow workshop on the 22nd of November at Millbridge Court, which is in Surrey. So if you are local, currently as I'm filming this, I have only 3 spaces left, so do reach out, and if you are interested, then I would absolutely love to teach you and train you and meet you. But there are lots of other places as well where you can educate yourself and learn, and just absolutely go for it, guys, because it really is an incredible industry to be involved in. and I wish you all the best if you do decide to go on that journey. But if you want to come and learn from me, then I would absolutely love to teach you. So do reach out. I will put the link for our workshops below as well, or you can jump on the wait list for when we host our next ones in 2024. Hey team, editing Lauren here. As I was watching back this video and editing it, I just wanted to caveat something that I'd said so that it wasn't misconstrued. I was saying about how we can get a bad reputation, and I just want to throw in that there are also loads of amazing planners and coordinators in our industry that are doing incredible things. So I just wanted to make sure that that was known and that that's how I feel. But I also want to make sure that we are spreading an amazing reputation across the industry as well, so that people want to work with us and that they get excited when we're walking into their venues. I'm really croaky. It's an editing kind of day. But anyway, there we go, guys. Anyway, guys, I will be back next week with some more wedding planning goodness. Until then, see you on the next one.